How we doing, everybody? Happy Friday. Schuyler Callihan here on Between the Eers, Mountaineers Now. We're going to end this week with the Fast Friday like we normally do. Just a few minutes. Usually this is kind of the episode where I give some updates on stuff that's going on, whether it's basketball, injury news, or whether it's football, recruiting news, or just anything in between. Today, I'm going to just basically hit on the transfer portal stuff that's going on, what I know, both going out and coming in. So, first things first, do not freak out when there are going to be some transfer portal guys that leave WVU. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. There's no going around it. It's going to happen. West Virginia is over the scholarship limit. So you can only have 85 players on scholarship as of right now per NCAA rules. West Virginia is over that total when you combine the NCAA, or excuse me, when you combine the transfer commits and the high school signees. So when you combine those guys with what they have coming back, they're already over that 85 number. There's going to be even more additions here within the coming week, within the next 7 days. So again, that just means there's going to be more departures. Do not panic. Don't freak out when guys start fleeing for the portal. It's going to happen. What I can tell you from what I know is that of those that are going to depart, there's not, as of right now, as of Friday morning here at 9:30, as I record this, there is not any game-changing transfers that are guys that are going to be entering the portal that are going to severely impact WVU. That can change by the time I stop recording this, or it could be changing as I'm recording this. But as of right now, there are no needle moving guys that are going to be leaving the program. So that's a good thing. Like I said, it could change because the other day when I was recording the one episode about the 23 class, we were going back and looking at how they panned out. At that time, I had no idea. I had not been made aware of Tomiwa Durajaye, and then literally within minutes of the episode dropping, we got the news about Tomiwa. So that one kind of came out of left field. Again, if had I known that, I would have held off on that episode and waited until that news dropped, and then would have kind of adjusted my plans with that. But anyway, no big news coming out there. As far as Tomiwa is concerned, again, it was really out of left field. The coaching staff, from what I'm hearing, had not been expecting that to take place. Whereas some of the other ones they have, like Hershey McLaurin, they kind of knew. Jared Bartlett, they had known. Justin Johnson, they had a really good feeling about. So those were ones that they knew they expected. Mike Lockhart, somebody that they would have liked to have kept around, but quite frankly, when he expressed interest to kind of peek around, they weren't all that interested in upping, not them per se, but the NIL collective was not interested in upping their pool for him. And when you have guys like Mike Lockhart, Fatorma Mulba, Hammond Russell, Corey McIntyre, they feel good about that situation up front. So there's no issue there. James Hurd was a little bit of a surprise, I would say, probably the first somewhat surprise, but this Tomiwa Durajaye one was really the first one that at least in my opinion, that really caught them off guard and is one that's going to be felt immediately. James Hurd was still somebody that they were grooming and developing. So, anyways, moving on to the guys that are going to be coming into Morgantown this weekend. So I initially reported they were going to have 4 transfers on campus this weekend. Excuse me. Jacksonville State offensive lineman Xavier Bosley, West Virginia native, played for Rich Rod. He's got 3 years remaining. He started 11 games for the Gamecocks this year. He was an athletic, a freshman All-American by the Athletic. Elijah Hills, Albany defensive lineman. If he comes and plays at West Virginia, he'll have a chance to play against his former team. He has 1 year remaining, and he was scheduled to come to West Virginia today. He has told me since that has been pushed back, so he will be arriving on Saturday. Bosley arrived Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon. T.J. Jackson, Troy defensive lineman, he's already on campus. He got there, I believe, on Thursday. And then Kobe Singleton was somewhat of a late addition. He's got 1 year remaining from Liberty and is a very, very talented player, one of the top 10. I believe he's top 10 nationally in passes defended, first team All Conference USA honors. So those 4 were the initial 4 that I reported. Then we got word that South Alabama defensive back, mainly safety, Jaden Voisin, has canceled his visit to Mississippi State to come to West Virginia, to visit West Virginia, I should say. He's got 1 year remaining. He's probably one of the top defensive back transfers out there on the market right now. Over the last 2 years, he's recorded 151 tackles, 18 pass defended, 8.5 tackles for loss, 6 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. So very talented player. And we have been talking about this since day one. Defensive back, safety depth has been something that this coaching staff is going to pursue heavily in the portal. And not just with the numbers of guys that are coming in, but I've been told that they would like to add at least 2 more defensive backs to this transfer class. Initially, I thought that was going to be 1. That's now been flipped up to 2. I wouldn't even be shocked if they added 3 more guys. So they've got 3 committed, looking to add 2 more. And I'll also throw this little nugget out there as well. There's another defensive back transfer that could be visiting West Virginia that I didn't mention just there. Trying to get confirmation on him. Haven't received that confirmation in time for this episode, but keep your eyes out for that. If I get word on anything, I will tweet it out. I will have an article out on Mountaineers Now. So that's kind of where things stand as of right now. Those 5 guys, plus potentially another defensive back that could be visiting. So we'll see what happens. In terms of the 5 guys that are for sure visiting, where West Virginia stands. One of the defensive linemen, I'm not going to give away which one because I don't want to ruin the kid's moment or anything like that, but one of those they feel really good about. I'll just put it at that. They feel really good about where they stand with him and their chances. As you could probably see, Jordan Leslie, the defensive coordinator at WVU, put out his little tweet yesterday, kind of insinuating that they're in a good spot. I had actually been told, honestly, probably 10, 15 minutes before about this kid before Leslie tweeted, and usually the stamp of approval or the stamp of confirmation when a coach tweets out their little GIF or GIFs or whatever you want to call them, when they tweet those out, that's when you know, okay, that's for sure going to happen. So, or at least should happen. So feel good about really good about one of the defensive linemen. I would say probably really good about one of the defensive backs, maybe even 2 of them. But I would be honest with you in saying that I think they got a shot with literally each and every single one of these transfers. I'm not saying they're going to land every single one of them that are visiting this weekend, but they've got a really good chance. They stand on good ground with all of them. And then particularly with Voisin, I mean, he canceled a visit to come visit West Virginia. So you got to think that you are in a good position there. So that's about all I have for you right now. Like I said, if I have any further updates, I will put it out on Twitter at my handle at Callihan _. I also have an article up on Mountaineers Now. And that'll do it for us here this week on Between the Ears. No show on Saturday or Sunday. We take those days off around here, except for we will have the Mountaineers Now postgame show with West Virginia and Houston tomorrow night. And we'll also we'll have Sunday off. So we'll be back on Monday. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube at Mountaineers Now and give us a follow at the same handle on X. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night for the post-game show between West Virginia and Houston. Take care.